You could get fired at any moment. I think about this often. The fact that companies want you to put in your 2 weeks, but they'll fire you at a moment's notice that day. No problem. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. In today's video, I want to talk about a topic that has been on my mind recently, which is the importance of being yourself at work. Looking at all the layoffs over the past few years, it's becoming increasingly clear to me that working in corporate America is not safe. The corporate landscape is way too precarious of a place right now for you to be anything but yourself. I've spent so much time, and many other people I know spend so much time trying to cultivate a corporate work persona because they think it somehow grants them a level of security in their job. But it's obviously true that it does not. And I think we all need to be more focused on being our authentic selves. This whole topic reminds me of No Country for Old Men. There's a scene in No Country for Old Men where the main villain is talking to a potential victim. And he's looking at this guy and he says, "If the rule you followed brought you to this, of what use was that rule?" And I think this is excellent in this context because we in corporate America live with this rule of, oh, I have to become someone else at work. I have to really pretend to fit into this corporate mold so that I can be safe. But in reality, you aren't safe. Tons of people are getting laid off, even though they put in their best effort into trying to be a fake person. So, of what use is being a fake person when it gets you to a position of getting fired anyway? What does it matter? For example, I worked with a senior executive very closely in a past life, and this guy was the ultimate corporate persona. At work, he was charming, friendly, outgoing, gregarious. Everyone really liked this guy, and he didn't ruffle anyone's feathers. I mean, probably to a fault. He always rode the fence, and he never took any hard stances on anything. His main goal was to be liked by everybody, and he did a very good job at doing that. And generally speaking, he played the office politics game very well. Even outside of work, this guy was super image conscious. I mean, he was posting on LinkedIn once or twice a week, putting up this image of someone who just loves their job, loves their company, loves being a corporate guy. But then one day he posts an emergency meeting. The entire team joins in. And in that meeting, there's a special guest, our head of HR. And in the meeting, he essentially says he's been let go. He's been fired. No 2-week warning. There was no gradual off-ramp. He was just let go. And initially, this was a big shocker to me because I thought, well, this guy plays the game so well. I mean, he's never pissing anyone off. He's always focused on being a yes man of towing the corporate line. Why did that not help him? And ultimately, I learned from that experience is that you can curate the perfect corporate image and you can still get screwed over. You can still get fired. So typically when you get laid off, it's not because your corporate persona wasn't good enough. It's typically because the company has run out of money or they're trying to save money or your job is no longer necessary, etc., etc. It's really not because you aren't playing the game well enough. So with that in mind, let's all stop playing the corporate game. Let's all stop pretending to be someone else and cultivating a fake corporate image when it has no real correlation to whether or not we're going to get fired or not. You can spend an insane amount of time and energy into becoming someone you're not, into trying to create a persona that you think your boss, your colleagues, your LinkedIn network will like, and it really provides no real protection. So what's the point of doing it? I think it is a complete waste of time to develop a corporate personal brand, and instead you should be yourself 100% of the time. Clearly, I'm not saying you should rebel openly and be a brash asshole. I'm not saying any of that. Don't do anything to purposefully get yourself fired. But what I am saying is invest no incremental time or energy into trying to fit in. Do your job, be a good person, and be your authentic self. Bring that person to work every day. When you start to do this, what you'll find is you will no longer use corporate jargon. You will no longer use the cliche catchphrases, the slogans, the trite words that people throw around all the time. All of those corporate platitudes, stop using them. You'll stop using them. You'll also find that as a result of using your own language and not pretending to be someone you're not, you're going to express your true opinions and you're going to tell the truth. And you'll start drawing lines in the sand on bullshit work requests. And you might think, well, I need to put up this corporate persona or else I'm going to get fired. Well, I don't really think that's true because you're going to get fired for a lot of other reasons that are more important than how well you pretend to be someone else. I don't think a boardroom that is trying to save money look at an employee and say, well, this person is useless and costs us money, but they're super friendly and they play the corporate game well. Let's keep them because we need more people like that. I don't think that happens that frequently. Be your authentic self and act in a way that is truthful to who you are. Because one day you're not even going to work at this company. So then you have to ask yourself, how do I want to be remembered? Do I want to be remembered by other people I've worked with as the person who bowed down to everything and who was a complete corporate pansy and had no personality outside of this weird attempt to fit into this corporate mold? Or do you want to be seen as a person who had authentic and real thoughts and concerns and acted in such a way that was consistent with what you believe to be the right thing? You could get fired at any moment. I think about this often. The fact that companies want you to put in your 2 weeks, but they'll fire you at a moment's notice that day. No problem. They'll turn your laptop off that quickly. It's really not a permanent place of existence. You might as well just be yourself while you're there. Enjoy the ride while you can and be yourself. Do the best job you can do, but don't play any games. Don't try to be something you're not. Don't try to embody some corporate image because you think it grants you a modicum of safety, because it doesn't. Just be yourself. I think you can succeed and win in this life without being something you're not. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Really appreciate you stopping by. And if you have any disagreements, leave it in the comments. I'd love to hash it out. Anyway, have a great day and thanks again.